find this whole part of the world a fascinating sort of intellectual ecosystem. And the social media that you've developed here, I mean, look, I don't understand a lot of it, but I do understand its importance. It is a revolutionary phenomenon. I mean, we're not talking about the Middle East today, which is another place I spend a lot of my time in, but it generates the most extraordinary waves of feeling and emotion and opinion that it's impossible for governments to control. It does have its problematic aspects, by the way, but it is extraordinarily liberating for people, and it's a transformative fact. So I think social media is enormously important. I think politicians don't quite yet know how to get inside the ability to communicate through it. But it does offer enormous opportunities. And technology, one of the things that I think is so fascinating to me about emerging countries now is I think technology offers them huge opportunities for reform and change of their basic systems and things like education and healthcare, where my constant plea to them, you know, sometimes I get a leader who says to me, when are we going to have an education system like yours? And I say to them, don't ask that question. Because basically, we're now looking at our education systems right around the Western world and thinking, how do we change these pretty fundamentally, in fact? So I would say, think about how you would use technology today if you had the power, and that's why I say electricity and power are so important in these countries. Think how you'd use that today. How would you teach differently? So how would you use Facebook and even Twitter and other forms of social media to make these changes? So I think this is absolutely essential. And one of the things that I think would be really interesting for your work here in Stanford, because obviously of your connection with the development of social media, is work out how governments might use this. Yeah. How might you change some systems of government to do this? You know, how might you improve, I don't mean improve communication between government and people, but how might you create better systems of delivery in basic services? I think there are fascinating things that could be done here. I mean, I always say to people, you know, if we were looking at creating healthcare systems in our countries today, certainly in my country, you know, we would think very fundamentally. The starting point would probably be technology.
Cambiar vidas, change organizations,
change organizations,
change
change the world.